Hey guys, welcome to the Pretty Positive. Hi Chandler.
Hey Nicole.
Hey. The last time you guys saw us, well, if you aren't familiar, we were once on television. Unfortunately.
Flop.
Yeah, we were once on a show called, well, it was, you want to go ahead?
It was Pretty Little Mamas. It was basically Real Housewives meets Teen Mom. That was later rebranded to Young Moms Club, which was more of like a teen mom vibe. It showed more of our struggles and whatnot, but it was not successful. I think for multiple reasons. One being that it was pulled after the first 2 episodes to be rebranded, and just like the whole storyline. Like, I mean, there was definitely some drama.
Yeah.
People were invested. We had a good fan base, you know.
I think so. I think in the beginning I think it was more well received as Pretty Little Mamas.
Absolutely.
Because Pretty Little Mamas focused a lot more on the dynamic of the group, like all the girls and the drama that would occur with that. But then with Teen Mom, they kind of took all the drama out.
It was more like individualized too.
Yeah.
Who knows?
But yeah, so that's the last time you guys saw us, back in spring of 2019. I had to write it down.
That was a long time ago, but people are still invested in the show. Like, I get random DMs like, oh, how are you? Like, what's going on?
So you know what's funny that you say that? Because I never get asked about the show. I think you get asked about the show a lot because I think you had a very up and down, people were very invested in your story because you had gone through a lot, and you were going through a lot.
It was a shit show, but I mean, you like put yourself out there, like, not as, you know, the face of Pretty Little Mamas. You don't want to be known for that. You're more known for like your beauty content and YouTube. You know, that's just not your.
Oh, you're so nice. I would not say that, but yeah.
Oh, whatever. I've been like following your success for the last 4 years now. She's doing great, guys. But yeah, we're just here to kind of give you guys a brief kind of like catch up of what's been going on since we left off with the show. And, you know, we're going to go into detail later on down the line.
In other episodes.
Yeah, like open the show up to like a Q&A. That way you guys can really get what you want. The answers that you've been asking all of these years that we've just kind of been hush-hush about because we've been waiting for the right opportunity to talk about this stuff.
You can only say so much like on Instagram, like in a Q&A, like, you know, but... With this, we wanted to really just like get into like the podcast world, and Chandler and I we talked a lot about like, it was either years ago where we were like, maybe we'll do like a YouTube channel or we'll do something. And then once like podcasting kind of became like a real thing, I felt like we were like, that's like a perfect medium for the both of us.
Yeah. I mean, we both have like great chemistry. Like
we are best friends in real life. Like that's a fact. And like we did meet on the show.
We did not meet on the show. So I didn't know Nick before the show. So the show kind of brought us together, and it kind of just like evolved into this like sisterhood.
Yeah. We were probably like the closest after everybody split.
Yeah. And that's the crazy part. Cause like when I first met her, I was like, oh my gosh, this beautiful girl, like totally like out of my league. Like
and this girl's like full on pregnant. Yeah. Cause I remember I
was like, oh gosh. Oh,
we were at a restaurant,
the biggest hot mess. And she rolls in like freaking Kim K. And I'm like, okay.
You're so sweet.
You're
like my number one cheerleader.
I know.
We decided to make this podcast. And also, if any of you guys can see our logo, we decided to name it Pretty Positive, just based off of, well, Pretty Little Mamas. We wanted to kind of give an ode to that show because there's a special place in our heart for it, as much as it was like a fucking failure.
Sure.
But I think, well, just because like that's where we met. Look at our love story.
I know, right? Oh my god.
And then we just thought Pretty Positive because, you know, we're both moms, and like that's stick you pee on makes you realize you're a mom. So I don't know. We just wanted to basically find a place where we can talk about things that go on in our lives, because we do live very interesting. I mean, Chandler and I were just talking off air earlier, but we do live a very it's unpredictable. It's unpredictable.
Not your average moms. But yeah, and also just talking about all this stuff, like the shitstorm that we're going through while keeping it positive.
trying to.
Yeah, just
without being like too like cringe about it. Like we do try to make, we have to make lemonade out of lemons. Like, you know, because
that's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
Because we were handed some spoiled ass rotten lemons. Yeah, so I think we're really excited
we got the trash going.
Oh fuck. Okay, sorry guys, we had to take a minute. We have some like, it's like a war zone out there with these trash trucks just slamming. Like, we're recording, people. Anyway, so where were we at? Basically, you know, we just wanted to get on here, and this is now going to be a place where Chandler and I will come here hopefully every week. We're going to try to make it work. We've got a lot going on, but we want to be as consistent as possible. And, you know, part of why, at least, you know, we wanted to even be on the show too, was because being a young mom is such a unique thing. And not even just like a young mom, but being a mom. But at the time, you know, we were super young, and there's a lot that obviously has transpired. We are now, we're both 30. Well, we're almost 30.
Almost 30. Don't rush it.
We're going to turn 30. You know, all of our kids have grown, obviously. And there's just a lot that's happened. And we're here basically to also like help you guys out in any way. So if you are a mom or a young mom or going through divorce or going through like a custody situation, that's always something like we would love to.
We just want to be your friends. We want to support you.
Yeah, we want to.
We've been there, done that. You know, we can give our advice and
as corny as it sounds, like we really do want to have that community, because it was so, if I had remotely like a percentage of the kind of community that there is now for young moms back in the day. So I think that's just like part of wanting to create this brand with you and hopefully build something out of this so that we can eventually like help out other moms, and especially young moms. It's a lot. And with that, I think the positive side to how difficult things
because there's so much judgment associated with it, so much struggle. You know, you're kind of navigating life and trying to figure out who you are while raising these little people, and it's just it's a lot. Yeah, like we said, it's been 4 years now. Obviously a lot has happened, and we're not gonna go into like total detail about everything. We'll open that up for discussion like later on down the road if you guys want to know the nitty-gritty. But basically left off on my part with, I guess I had broken up with Aaron. He had been arrested, battling this addiction, and served some jail time, missed his son's first day of life because he was intoxicated and had got arrested for DUI. Total chaos. So since then, you know, I tried to work things out with him and try to co-parent, and that just didn't work out. There was total inconsistency, like a lot of abuse, just it was awful. So I just made the decision, excuse me, to just sever the relationship for the better. It was really hard. You know, it's like it's like that person died, you know, with like no contact. Like he still tries to reach out, and it's hard not to be like, oh, you know, your son's thriving, doing this, like the involvement and stuff. But it's for the better, just because he never proved anything to me, and getting the courts involved with child support and all that, it's just too much of a headache. So I can happily say that Jax is thriving. He's now 5, and he does ask questions, but it's just better that way, in my opinion. And Aubrey is now 10. James and I have a really great co-parenting relationship. And
James is her other.
Yeah, James is my I guess I didn't really introduce everybody for those who don't know.
Yeah.
Aaron is my son's biological father, who has been absent and battled an addiction and is no longer in our lives. James is my daughter's father, who I met in high school, who is a functioning quadriplegic due to a BMX accident back in the day. But yeah, James and I are friends. We have Aubrey's best interest in mind, and, you know, we just take it day by day. So yeah, the kids are great.
What are you doing?
yeah, I decided to just live my life backwards, from Jump Street. And I made the decision to go back to school and pursue a career in nursing, which has been amazing. I feel like it's my calling, and I just really, really enjoy it. I love learning. I feel like I have a purpose. I'm setting a good example for the kids. So I'm really happy about that moving forward in my life, getting my shit together. Because if you guys remembered from the show, I was living on my mom's couch. It was just absolute, just not stable whatsoever. And
she's no longer living on her mom's
yeah, I'm
couch,
not living. I'm not. I don't live with my mom, but I still have a really great relationship with her. She's my rock. She helps out with the kids as much as she can, and
she's your co-parent.
She's my co-parent. Yeah, she's fucking fabulous. Shout out to Christine. We love
Grandma.
G-Ma.
Oh, G-Ma, sorry.
G-Ma. Yeah.
Grandma's my mom.
Oh, of course she is.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, sorry.
I can't be serious to save my life. I just can't.
It's okay. This is we'll just be ourselves.
Yeah. What else is going on?
You're what are you in?
I'm in a relationship. I have been for quite some time now. So the one positive thing that really came out of the show was meeting my current boyfriend. Yeah, he was in production, and I guess we just kind of goo-goo-eyed one day on set, and I didn't really think much of it because I was going through that friggin' nonsense. And about a year after, he reached out to me, and we just kind of hit it off and just talked every day since then. And it grew into this amazing relationship, and I'm happy where I'm at now. Honestly, it's just so crazy how it all just turned out.
What a trip.
It's such a trip, and I'd love to talk about that more, but let's talk more about you, Nick.
Oh my God, me?
I know.
No, it always just gets so awkward when I don't know, just talking about my life.
The spotlight's on you now.
I know. I feel so awkward. I'm so used to just have with my YouTube channel. I'm very if you're watching on YouTube, by the way, this is also on YouTube, you guys, so you can subscribe and watch us in video.
Just to feel like you're sitting at the table with us.
Yeah.
Just a little more personal.
I actually did some research, and apparently people choose, out of all the platforms, they prefer to listen / watch on YouTube over Spotify podcast app,
okay,
which is really interesting. So I think it's good that we're filming it.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So if you guys are new to my channel or whatever, I'm basically just all beauty content. So talking about I don't really talk about my personal life. Don't really show my daughter on social media anymore. A lot of people get shocked when I say that I'm a mom, but yes, I am a mom. But yeah, so pretty much without being so awkward. Last place I was at on the show, basically now I'm at a point where did we leave off? I don't even remember.
You were navigating co-parenting. There was some stuff going on in the courts, and I think that you just...
I don't even think we got that far. I think
really?
We had stopped where it was I had just become a single mom at the time on the show, which I wasn't... There's a lot of magic with reality TV. But anyway.
Sure is, yes.
Yeah. So so Elia's dad and I, we are not together, still not together, have not been together. And, we do our best to co-parent. I like to say we parallel parent at the most part. But, we share her and split time so Elia can see both parents. So that's good. Elia's thriving. She's 6 years old now, which is insane because the last time anybody saw her she was like a little peanut.
She was a baby. Yeah.
She was just running around with her passy in her mouth.
Oh gosh, that thing. I do remember that.
Yeah. She was addicted to it. Oh my God, it took forever. But yeah, so it's always an interesting situation when you have to co-parent, and it definitely, I can get more into it in terms of my advice with how to handle co-parenting, or if it has to get to parallel parenting, it is what it is. You just have to do the best you can to make sure that the child is,
priority.
You have to do the best you can with that other parent,
right,
for the sake of that kid. And if
Absolutely.
that means doing it parallel rather than like, you know, and sometimes it can be a mix of both. Like it's ever, what's the thing I always say? It ebbs and flows. So yeah, we are, you know, Elia's thriving, and like I said, she's in first grade. It's great. In terms of modeling, I was modeling a lot after the show ended. I was full force. That was my main thing. So I guess I can say that modeling definitely did tick off afterwards. Mm-hmm. And I am grateful for the platform we were given just for the sake of that, because that definitely helped. And yeah, and then it got to a point where, you know, I was going up to LA a lot for work. And at the time I was in a relationship with somebody in LA. So I was there a lot, but it just became it became very strenuous, I would say.
Okay. Just the expectations out of like you as a model, or
just that I lived in, all the above.
Mom life balance, all that. Okay.
Everything. And, you know, I will say with Eli, it was a little easier because she was just like in preschool and kindergarten. Now that she's in grade school, I can't imagine a world where I am trekking up to LA often, unless it's worth it. But for where like social media has gone and how long I've been involved with creating content and being online, it's not worth it financially, monetarily to go up there. I would say I make more money working from home than I do going up to LA. And unless I get booked for something that's like worth my time, I will go. So technically I'm still like considered, like I still have an agent, and I have agents and all that stuff, but it's not something that's my priority as much.
Okay.
And maybe it'll change, you know, I don't know. I still love it. I mean, there was a reason why I got involved with it in the first place. It, you know, my mom and everything, like it's been in my family for a while. So I've always really enjoyed it. But yeah, there's not a lot of money to be made with modeling unless you're like a Gigi Hadid or, you know, things like that.
Right.
And people do it.
I mean, but there was always the potential for you, but I'm not saying like, oh, you're a quitter, you know, but like mom life calls, like you got to prioritize your life.
Yeah. And I had to pivot, and there was a point in time where I just like could not keep going up there, and it would be different if I lived in LA. Like that would be a whole other different story, being able to just like run out for a casting. No, I would have to take like a whole day just to get up there, drive back, then like cook dinner. Like it was a lot. So I just felt for myself that I took a step back. This was like recently too. I was modeling for years after the show, but as of now, I'm much more involved in my daughter's school, and I need to be way more hands-on just with homework and her after school curriculars and things like that. I have to be here, and I'm okay with that. And I'm happy with where I'm at. I don't feel the drive to be modeling like I used to. I'm happy with, you know, doing the social media stuff and YouTube and all that jazz. So that's pretty much like where I'm at. I'm now in a relationship with somebody as of recent. I was in a long-term relationship after the show wrapped, and not Elia's dad, but afterwards I was in a pretty long-term relationship. It didn't work out. There was no bad blood or anything. It was just like we had very fundamental differences in terms of where we wanted our lives to go. He was in LA, so distance-wise, it was a lot. He was on the road. And like I said, I think like having come out of that relationship, which was something that was really hard for me at the time, I kind of felt like, you know, I've invested so much time with this person. I was like, I was very comfortable with him. Like we were very good friends. But I think when it came down to like actually being, you know, lovers and stuff, I think it really wasn't all there. But then again, like hindsight's 2020. I didn't know that back then. I was obviously devastated when we broke up. But now I realize when I became single, I was like, it just changed my entire perspective. It opened my eyes to like what it is I really, really want. And
you do a lot of reflecting in that.
You really do. You're kind of forced to. Like you have no choice. As much as like I resisted it for so long. I was like, no, I don't want to go on a date. I don't want to do this. I don't want to start dating. it's just something like you have to go through, and it's
well, you're kind of like mourning the person. Like it kind of
For
relates
sure.
back to how I just kind of cut Aaron off because, you know, it's just, it's not, if it's not benefiting your life, you know, get rid of it.
yeah.
And it's not like,
Not
like
in,
you
like-
said, there's no bad blood, but it's just like, you
It
know,
just
you got to
wasn't-
move on.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. No, you're totally right. I mean, like there was a point in time where I was just very complacent, and I was like very fine with where everything was at, and I was just like happy. I was just glad that I wasn't in anything toxic.
Right.
You know, but I'm grateful for that relationship because I really think it helped me put myself back on my feet, and like he gave me a ton of confidence, and I really don't think like I would have rebuilt myself having what I had gone through prior to that without him. And we're really good, you know, like we'll always be friends, you know, like there's nothing negative or poorly said. Like we would never do that. And I think that gave me the peace of mind to know that it was okay, and that person's always going to be there for me. Basically, I would have not have broken up with him or left the relationship.
It
if
was
weren't
just
for
like
him.
comfortable for him, but he wasn't like willing to give more or
Yeah, I think like towards the end of the relationship, now that I'm looking back at it, like he definitely, and even then, like me too, we were just on completely different pages in terms of like trying to put our lives together, but we were so used to being apart that it was like, okay, so where are we going to live? Are we going to live up in LA? Are we going to live here? Are we going to live there? It was just like a lot. So anyway, my whole point, I took the scenic route with that, but my whole point was I, you know, had a lot of self-reflection, and I really dug deep and figured out what it is that I want. And I was like, I need to find somebody who obviously has their shit together, who...
She didn't go on a hunt for this guy though. This
No,
guy
but I
fell
mean-
out of the sky.
I know,
and
fell
it's just like she says, an angel literally fell
Yeah.
out of the sky for Nicole. And like, I think it was at a good point in her life. She did her self-reflecting. She
I was
healed a little
dating,
bit.
yeah.
And she was feeling confident. She was looking sexy. And here comes Mr. Right.
Yeah, it just like literally fell from the sky. You're right. But yeah, I mean, I had gone on dates, and like I had dated other people and put myself out there. So I was like comfortable with being back in the dating world.
Yeah.
And this was like over a span of months. And then of course I was just like not, and then at one point I was like, okay, I'm glad I did that, but like, I'm good. Like I'm good for right now. And then I met the person I'm in a relationship with now, and it's just, he checks off everything that I don't want to say like, I feel like I kind of manifested him in some weird way. Not that I'm a manifestor. I'm not like one of those people, but I was like, I need somebody who's in San Diego. I need somebody who has their shit together, who like is ready to obviously take on not only me, which I'm a lot.
It's a package deal.
And my daughter, and who also like isn't, there were so many people I went on dates with that were like, I think I'm going to want to have kids. And I'm like, no, I don't have time to like, the whole like, I'll probably want kids in like 3 years. I want them, but I'm like, not right now. This guy was like, no, I want to get married. I want to have kids, like all these things. And I was like, great. And I realized like, this is what everything in my life has led to this person.
Right.
And I'm so grateful. I'm in a very happy relationship, and I'm definitely a relationship girly.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say you are too?
Yeah, I
You
don't
like relationships?
I do. I
too.
just like that security and that bond, and you know, it's
I like that companionship. Like,
absolutely, yeah.
I just like knowing that that person's like there, you know? Not to say like, and that's the thing too, is like I was really scared to like just be single, but there was some kind of freedom that came with that. Like there was some sort of, once I had come to peace with the fact that like my relationship was done, and there was part of me that was like, I think I just like
I can see that.
made
yeah.
myself be like positive about it.
Oh, girl.
Oh my God, cringe. And then, yeah, I think I just like got to a point where I was like, I have to be positive about this. And so I was like, okay, what am I going to do? I have nobody to answer to. Like I can do this. I can date however many people I want. Like,
Yeah.
And that was so fun.
No, I always love the quote. It's not like, what is this? Why am I going through this? It's what is this teaching me?
Oh yeah. Or
You
my
know?
favorite also, is there a booger on my face?
I can't deal
I can't. When I talk for so long, even when I'm filming YouTube videos, I swear to God, my nose starts running and I'm like, am I like,
oh my God, I've never noticed that about you.
I'm not okay. Well, because we've never really like, it was the same thing when we were trying to record our.
No, but like even just like talking, I've never noticed that about you. Oh, it's a little quirk about
I don't
Nick.
know. Yeah, just a little weird thing.
Little
But
fun fact.
what were we just talking about?
Just like, you know, when like there's a transition in your life and, you know, you're kind of just like, why is this happening to me? You got to put it into a different perspective, you know, like really just like look at the positivity of it and like, okay, where can we go from here? What is this teaching me? You know, because it's like, it's a freaking journey.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's a lot. It's
you
not
choose
easy.
where you want to go. You know, there's so many times after like dealing with Aaron that I just wanted to crumble, and you know, it wasn't all like,
I remember.
It still haunts me to this day. Like, you know, I'm still recovering from the traumatic events that happened, and you just got to take charge and remember who the fuck you are though, and get right back up, because it's not going to end there.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, with these like toxic relationships, you really do lose yourself.
You do.
You really do. And not only like put that and on top of being a mom and like putting your kids before you, but then you have to deal with like toxicity.
You got to put yourself first. If you're
so
not
hard.
a good like person, like if you're not happy with yourself, you're not going to be a good mom. Like that's just,
you're just not. Yeah, for sure. And like also sometimes you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, who the fuck am I anymore? Like I feel like I started, you know, the relationship I have been in, I felt like I was starting to lose myself. Like I didn't even know who I was anymore. I was
we kind of took I didn't see much of you during that time, and that might have
we didn't really know. Well, yeah.
Yeah, you know, that's what
Holy
I'm saying.
shit, we didn't. Yeah.
And now, like, it's like when you became single, you were just like, hey, you want to go out? And I'm like,
you were my first
you know,
call.
that like sparked it.
Yeah. You were
So.
like, I was like, who? Okay, I need to get myself back out there. Who am I going to call? Chandler and.
Well, I'm like your
Calling
closest mom friend too, so it's like maybe you just felt like you could relate in a way because I went through it too. I don't know, but
yeah, but like you're also like one of my best friends, so But
we took a little hiatus though, like
with what?
Just like seeing each other so regularly and like getting.
Oh yeah, but we got busy with life. Like that's. I was in LA. Like
here I am trying to blame it on
time.
our relationship.
No, I mean but that's the thing with like these toxic relationships, going back to that, it's just, but also it's one of those things where you can't, like, you could have your mom and your family being like, this is not good for you anymore, but you don't see it until like you literally just have to get to the point where you're like, I can no longer fucking do this. And then hopefully, like, you know, luckily I had a very supportive family that was there for me when I needed them to be, but and like friends that were there
in the moment. You just can't, like, that's why I'm so thankful for MTV and the show, because it really put things into perspective for me.
Oh yeah,
like watching that on the screen, and I'm just like, what, like, this is not a normal relationship, you know, that these are not normal things that are supposed to be happening in someone's life, you know.
And I was so tired of like making excuses for everything. Like I would be, people were like, where is he, you remember, like producers would be like, can you call, like, can we do a scene with y'all? And I was just like, nah.
They ate it up. They love that shit.
I know. It's like the second, and that's
they're like,
the
let's
thing.
Stir the pot. Or like,
I mean, they're doing their job, right? But it's
I
definitely
get that,
like,
yes,
I always have to forget that they're not really like our friends. Producers are not your friends, and that's one thing that
they make it seem like they're your friends. Like I remember I would call one of the like executive producers almost every night and just fill her in on what happened, and I felt like she was my therapist. And then like once the show wrapped, it's like she was gone.
Oh my God, do you think she'd ever be a guest on our podcast? Are you talking about?
Oh, I would love her to come on. Oh my God.
She
was actually like freaking incredible. Like she still like checks in every now and then, but like
I know she would be epic. Are you kidding? But I don't know if she'd be able to like talk about stuff. I don't want to have her on and her not be able to like talk about what went on. I've listened to podcasts where producers are on it.
It's worth a shot. It definitely is, because like she was Fairy Bob Mother. She was the queen.
The motherfucking queen. Honestly, I would have quit if it wasn't for her, because she really held everybody together. But yeah, I mean, there is we have come a long way, and I'm really proud of us, and we still have a lot going on. I will say though, should we talk about like what's happened since like the show with the dynamic of the group?
Yeah, absolutely. As you know, like, or if you don't know, the show was like based off a group of girls that I went to high school with, plus Nikki and Heather. But we did all know each other. We got close, and we were young moms, like just trying to navigate life. And we all had different stories, but we were all connected in some way.
Sorry, I was checking to see if our food was here. Go ahead. I'm listening. I swear to God, I'm listening. Sorry, multitasking.
It's all good. You know this. So
yeah.
I'm just filling them in.
Yeah.
We were close. We all went through different like waves where we would be more closer with one than the other. And
during the show or after? Maybe I wasn't listening.
Just during and after, you know? Like,
yeah. So
that's normal in friendship, but like,
so to be completely transparent, I didn't know you until the show came together. I had known Nicole and Alyssa the most, which
and
is actually
I went to high school with Nicole, Alyssa, and Cheyenne. So those were like,
you guys, if you don't know who we're talking about, just go watch the trailer of the show. Like it's out there. But yeah, so those are the two girls I knew, and I was close with them. And then I met Cheyenne towards after I had Aliyah, because I knew Alyssa and Nicole before I had Aliyah, and then I met Cheyenne after I had Aliyah. So I was hanging out with them three a couple times, and then I met you when the show was coming together, and then I met Heather afterwards. So, but you had known the girls, Cheyenne, Alyssa, and Nicole,
right? But my relationship drove a wedge between them for a long period of time, like years. So I didn't
known them from high school, but you hadn't caught up with them or known any. Weren't you like blocked or something, or did you block them or something?
Yeah, we had a falling out, and then
that's
like
right.
I don't know if we should get into this show stuff yet because there's like that's like worth a whole episode.
I know, we have so many things. There's so much content to be made out of this.
Goodness, yeah. So just to wrap this section up, we've gone through like waves of being closer with one
friend or
member of the group than another, but yeah, as the years go by, it's like we're just kind of divided. Like,
yeah, I think like everybody just like
Nicole
separated.
as often. We're still friends.
Yeah.
I haven't talked to Alyssa and Shy in years.
You know what's funny? Alyssa's sister-in-law, Brandon's sister, does my eyebrows.
No way.
Yeah. So
Sunny. I
It
need an eyebrow girl that like.
Sunny's amazing. You should go see her.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sunny. Literally, she's epic. She's the reason why my brows are the way they are.
Yeah, I need some referrals here because I need to get some glam going. You know,
you're stunning no matter what.
Just get sick of it.
What? Like same thing? What? Your face? You get tired of your face?
Sick of it.
So yeah, I would say me and I'm the closest to you. Like that's really the only people I talk to. I have no there's no bad blood between anybody. I can't speak for other girls and their relationships, but with me and everybody else, it's just like time and our lives we've all grown apart. You know?
Right. Well, Cheyenne and Alyssa went on to have more kids.
Oh my God, yes. They have so many kids. It's amazing. Yeah, I know. Crazy.
So that's always kind of different. You know, our kids, Nicole and or Nikki, as you might know her as.
You guys, yeah. My name is Nikki on the show. Kill me. But yeah, my name's Nicole. Nobody calls me. Well, you call me Nikki. People who have known me my whole life, or if you were on the show with me, you call me Nikki. Otherwise, nobody calls me Nikki.
It gets so confusing. I don't like...
Because you have another girl, Nicole.
Right. So Nicole here with me.
Me.
Our kids, so Jax is 5, Elia's 6. Yeah. And we're kind of like, you know, they're becoming more independent and they're close to the same age. So we kind of vibe more because of that, I feel like. I don't know. Like,
well, our kids, when Jax and Elias saw each other way more back when they were little, we were around, they got along. They would play together.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see Nicole because blonde Nicole, because Noelle and Aubrey are the same age.
That's
and
right.
You know, it's
they're
like
good friends.
You have to like think about like the kids' ages and just like what you got going on in life and all that. So, I mean, I would say that we're still friends. We're just not close like that. It's not like we all get together for a wine night or, you know, we're never all together at the same time.
And to be honest, like this goes with like a lot of friendships that I've learned is as you get older, like it's not about how frequently you see each other. It's like you just keep in touch. You pick up where you left off. And the friends that are too demanding of like, I need to see you. Why aren't you picking up my phone calls? Some people just like, I don't have time for that. But like there's some friendships that just wither away because you know,
you outgrow them.
You just outgrow them, or it's just like we're on completely different paths.
Totally.
That's just the way it is, you know? But I mean, I can't even imagine being in the same room with everybody ever again, but
it was always a lot of energy.
It's a lot. Like I mean, I think that's why I was going to say it made good television, but
you fucking hated it. I could just tell.
Well, I hated it because I had to answer to a parade of questions after I got home. From work. I mean, from the show. And like, you know what it is too?
Wait, are we talking about the same thing?
Hated filming?
I was talking about us being together like as a group. Like, like how there was like so much energy and just like being all together with the girls. Me. It was just like.
And I'm not like that. Like I'm I like to have fun, but there's just certain people that drain the hell out of me. And I felt like it was a lot with that group. And it made for, you know, it was fun while we were filming, like as, you know, working together, if you will. But it just,
yeah, because like
much.
When would we ever really come together like that if it weren't for the show? It's like we just had that in common, that we were all moms and that we knew this person through this person, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. I mean, we had to like act like we were all best friends. And I was like, we're not. Like there's so much tea we could tell you guys if you're interested in it, but like, oh my God, there was just so many things that just like I didn't want to do. And like till this day, I just think about how I am very, as much as I shit on it, like I am very grateful for the fact that like I am grateful for it because it did a lot and I took advantage of the platform for sure to build other things, but you know, I would never do it again. I don't think, unless I was a producer and I could control what I wanted, but that's not how reality TV works.
Oh gosh. Well, so that's why we have the podcast, because we're producing our own shit.
Yeah. And now we don't have anybody like telling us, because there was a point in time where like we couldn't even talk about certain things outside of the show because we would get like told not to.
We have plenty to talk about. We want to know what you guys want to hear.
Yeah. And if there's anybody you guys want us to bring on, like we would be happy to bring on guests for sure. Cause I don't know. I mean, this episode is just basically catch you up,
just like a smorgasbord
like
of,
just to catch you guys up with where we've been at and like things like that. But I promise you, like there's so much we can update you guys on, and we're really excited. Like there's so many things we want to film, and I say film, but we want to record and put out for you guys an episode. So if there's anybody in particular you want us to bring on, or say, you know, I was even telling you, like we can bring in a therapist, we can bring in, my nose is dripping. Do you see it?
I don't.
Oh my God. I'm going to leave this in. We can bring in attorneys. We can bring in high conflict. I'm so tired of attorneys. I can't do that anymore.
Yeah, let's not
bring on an attorney unless like if people really want to hear it. But just like people in like the service world, is that what you call them? Like, what do you call? Yeah, like it's a service. Yeah, guys, I think that.
I mean, we could talk all day, but we got to wrap it up.
We got to wrap it up. Our food's here. I think I was checking my phone. Hopefully no one stole it.
The sushi is in.
The sushi's in. We're going to have sushi. But thank you guys so much for watching.
Yeah.
You can find us on any platform where you can listen to your podcast. We're also here on YouTube, so feel free to subscribe.
Yes, please do. Hang out with us.
We're so excited to be here. Thank you guys for all the support, and we'll see you guys in our next episode.
Bye.
Bye.